The third step in configuring Deploy Expert for your Windows 7 migration is going to be your integration phase. Integration has three major components. The first is your WIM image preparation. SCCM and MDT have different functionality in wizards to designate or capture a WIM image file that will be the basis for the operating system in your task sequence that you configure later. And the second element that you need to configure and integrate is, of course, the task sequence itself that brings the different components together, the operating system image, driver packages, and other configuration elements that provide for a complete deployment. The third integration step is integrating the DX technology, driver resources, classification, and intelligence into your task sequence. Since WIM image and task sequence preparation are both handled by MDT, really your only integration step that you're going to do with Deploy Expert is to integrate your task sequence. Now, when integrating a task sequence, it's important that you note and be in a specific profile. Profiles will be discussed in a later video, but essentially your profile is a definition in Deploy Expert of a deployment initiative, a specific operating system, a specific set of filters that describe what operating system you're trying to deploy to and what scope of computers with respect to an SCCM collection and other elements that really put parameters around a specific deployment venture that you're going to do in your company. Once a profile is created, it should be selected in the profile window on the analyzer screen and the load profile button pressed. Once that button is pressed, you'll see the different models and classes render with an analytic interface. Now the next step would be to go ahead and add a task sequence. You can see down here on the bottom are several different tabs. The first one is task sequence integration. I'm going to go ahead and select to add a task sequence and select the task sequence that I've configured earlier using the MDT task sequence wizard. That'll be my Windows 7 task sequence, and select finish. It's as easy as that. What just happened with the task sequence is that the task sequence has been altered to integrate the auto apply drivers and other elements that are necessary to plumb in the intelligence and driver resources that DX bring to bear on the process. It's really that easy. Hardware-specific applications are also integrated as a function of adding a task sequence to a DX profile. So down in DX management, in addition to managing and adding drivers as we've demonstrated earlier, you can also add applications. And this is a very useful feature because the applications can be targeted towards specific models and classes. The latter really is helpful when you consider hardware-specific applications like Wi-Fi utilities, different applications that are required to complement a driver set to make a particular device useful to the end user. So you can select a specific model or class or combination thereof and then reference a package that's defined in the SCCM package inventory along with a program to go to it. So we could select this silent installer. And now what's going to happen, in addition to all the other task sequence settings, this application, which could be a driver installer or, as we indicated earlier, a specialty hardware specific application, is going to be seamlessly delivered as part of your task sequence deployment event.